Sia? Can I go for it? Sia? Can I go to that? Sia! Come here.
The fastest one is that way, Minnow.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here to this great end of the season. So happy that we're able to join everybody together one last time, seeing some of you for the very first time. So welcome back, and we're going to get started with today's program. We're giving a big wave to all of our family and friends at home. Again, for those of you that are tuning in, we have a nice group of people here. And we are good to get started. So I'm going to turn it over to our incoming president of the Ridge Forensics team, who's done a lot of work in preparation for today's event, Ms. President Michaela Carter-Moreau.
Hi everyone. I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody who came today. I think we all needed to see each other one last time before the season ends. Before we get started, there are just a few things you should know. Everybody should have food by now, and our food was graciously given to us by Monterey Gourmet. We thank them for providing us with prepackaged meals during the pandemic. And I would like to give a very special thanks to Manal, Dia, and Nabiha for working with me to put together this banquet. After a very long debate over a theme, several Amazon orders, and video editing, on behalf of the officers, we think this banquet should turn out okay. So a quick round of applause for them, because today would not be possible without them. And I would like to thank all of you for coming, because I think it's amazing that we can all see each other just one last time. Is it better now? Better? Okay, I'll speak a little bit louder. We'd just like to thank everybody for coming today, and we really appreciate all that you guys have done this year, and this is a really good celebration for us to celebrate all the hard work and effort you've been putting in throughout this year. So to start off our program for today, we have a recap video that Nabiha made for us. Unfortunately, we do not have access to a projector, so we can play the audio of the video through my phone off the microphone, and everybody can pull out the link. It's going to be found in announcements. I'm going to drop the link in announcements right now, and then I'll start playing the audio from my phone, and you all can just mute the volume on your phone. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. I'm going to send the link in announcements right now.
I get up, I get down, and I'm jumping around, and the rumpus and ruckus are comfortable now. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to grow. So I got an apartment across from the park. Put quinoa in my fridge, still I'm not feeling right. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody come hang, let's go out with a bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever. I'm way too old to try, so whatever, come hang, let's go out with a bang. Feel like I'm gonna puke, cause my taxes are due. Do my best.
Let's go! Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up. First shot, hip strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy ya. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music. I shed my skin.
When life leaves you high and dry, I'll be at your door tonight if you need help, if you need help. I'll shut down the city lights, I'll lie, cheat, I'll beg and bribe to make you well, to make you well. When enemies are at your door, I'll carry you away from more if you need help, if you need help. Your hope dangling by a string, I'll share in your suffering to make you well, to make you well. Give me reasons to believe that you would do the same for me, and I will do it for you, for you. Baby, I'm not moving on, I'll love you long after you're gone. For you, for you. You will never sleep alone, I'll love you long after you're gone, and long after you're gone, gone, gone. When you fall like a statue, I'm gonna be there to catch you, put you on your feet, you on your feet. And if your well is empty, not a thing will prevent me. Tell me what you need, what do you need? I surrender honestly. You've always done the same for me, so I will do it for you, for you. Baby, I'm not moving on, I'll love you long after you're gone. For you, for you. You will never sleep alone, I'll love you long after you're gone, and long after you're gone, gone, gone. You're my backbone, you're my cornerstone, you're my crutch when my legs stop moving, you're my head start. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun tonight.
I hope you all enjoyed that little video, and if you couldn't watch it, you can watch it later. Thank you to Howard for that amazing video. Now we are going to be moving on to the infamous Paper Plate Awards. So first up is going to be, funny enough, Annika and I. Give me 1 second. Alright, face that one. Okay, you guys.
When this person, hello.
Okay, you can start now.
When this person first became our, I can't speak. Okay. When this person first became our captain, we already knew that they were going to be the lazy one.
You have to scream into it.
When this person first became our captain, we already knew that they were going to be the lazy one.
However, when this person first became my partner, I thought I was finally going to have a partner who could formulate proper sentences in rebuttal.
Although Michaela got the partner who could formulate sentences, she definitely was not expecting them to write cases at 4 a.m. the day before the competition.
Or how I knew I couldn't call this person from the hours of 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. because they were taking their afternoon nap.
Now, while this may all seem negative, this person actually taught us something very important: the art of procrastination. As this person always says, work smarter, not harder.
Even though this may seem like terrible life advice, it taught Annika and I a lot about the importance of living in the moment and not taking things so seriously. And that at the end of the day, it is what it is.
We'll probably never master the art of procrastination, but worst comes to worst, we can always contact the master. So with all of this, the Master Procrastinator Award goes to our malfunctional captain,
But also our closest friend,
almost too close,
a mom. You can go in the middle, and they're gonna take a picture. No, come in the middle. They're gonna take a picture. Yeah, they're gonna take a picture. Can you see through the leaves? Well, just can you come closer? No, but I'm giving the next speech, so can you just come closer? Okay, thank you.
Dude, ask them. Don't ask me.
Okay, on to the next one. I would consider myself to be a Debbie Downer and somebody who always looks at the negatives rather than the positives. So when I first met this person, I truly thought I was going to hate them. I mean, this person is always a ball of joy, whether it be at 8 a.m. at check-ins or for after rounds at 11 p.m. after a whole day of competing. But lo and behold, this person and I became some of the closest of friends, and the saying opposites attract might actually be true. I honestly will never understand how this person always keeps a smile on her face despite any problems that are presented to her along the way. But it's one of the many traits I truly admire about this person. From officer work to talking about Olivia Rodrigo drama, this person has never failed to make me laugh, even if I'm laughing at her. Although this person is going to college quite literally in the middle of nowhere, I'm sure she's going to be that happy and excited friend. And I'm so excited to see where her hard work takes her in life. So I present the cheerful award to Miss Amy Huang.
Picture person.
I wish I would.
Okay. Hello?
A bona fide leader, a treasured friend, two helpful hands she'll always extend. Our prez of 1 year and bestie for 3, she's been here for all, even Fletch and Yastrzemski. And even...
Okay, enough with the poetry, Robert Frost. Since I joined RF, this person has always been the most reliable and caring teammate. If I needed a duck intro, she was on it.
Mistake, no problem.
In Houston, she's got at least 20. Just like the mountain of info stands she has stashed somewhere in her house, we can always count on her support.
We'll always remember rich invitationals, This individual on all fours, literally on the verge of tears, slapping paint onto a poster board and screaming at Liva, "Just take it, we don't have time."
And you can't forget how she became a worm dealer within the span of a year, distributing almost 100 furry, mildly unsettling toy worms to the team.
It was truly hard to find something that embodied her for who she is.
I think we managed to get pretty close.
The female strawberry poison dart frog has a young who may try to eat each other. In order to prevent this, mother frogs transport each baby tadpole individually on her back. So, for her dedication,
Kindness.
consideration, and so much more,
We're honored to grant this
Strawberry Frog Award to Adrika Chatterhide!
I got a COVID injection in the PM.
Was that
In my first.
yeah, the second one's gonna be
Yeah, my hand is
second
so
one.
sore. Crazy.
Like I literally could not move for like an entire day.
I can't move my hand.
Like, I was like, you know what? The second dose, like,
Okay. In PF, this person is known for two things: the clothes he wears and his ability to prep. Starting off with the clothes, well, he was literally only wearing the same Duke sweatshirt for the past 6 months in a row at practice. At this point, everyone on the team almost immediately associates anything blue on the Zoom screen with this person. I don't know if this person is trying to become the college mascot, but if so, I would say he's already doing a great job. Secondly, his prep abilities are beyond impressive. This person can prep any topic incredibly fast. Even for the NCFLs, he created an entire block file in 2 hours. Along with this speed, this person can find evidence to support literally any argument. At one point, this person found evidence that almost exactly said space garbage will lead to extinction. Over the years, this person has always been there for me and everyone in PF, whether it was helping us find prep against our opponents' arguments at UPenn, or more recently boosting my self-esteem with his garbage chess skills. So, the award for the prep machine goes to someone on the team who's really helped PF grow, and it goes to Benny.
So this next senior has had. So this next senior has had one hell of a run. At the moment, he's second in the state in congressional debate, a well-earned feat. But leading up to this moment, he has had many, many more. I mean, first off, this person could probably subsidize my entire senior year forensics budget with the amount of money he's willingly or unwillingly given to NJ. But aside from being the vending machine plug, this person has been a really integral part of the team, specifically for Congress. Maybe not always as a teacher, but always as an example of hard work, perseverance, and honest tolerance. Tolerance of Keisha and Nov's antics. I mean, they always meant well, but I think being dubbed orphan drug is a compliment of the highest esteem. Nicole seems to think so too. But it could get tough sometimes, especially when NJ decides to weaponize his surfboard, plastic lightsabers, legal pads, and water bottles against this person. But not only did he survive Congress Brotherhood, he became a pretty stellar captain, earning the respect of not only his peers and teammates, but also from his coaches. So let's close off by talking about some of his most notable moments. So get this, Sushi Palace. May it rest in peace. It has a rule where you have to finish all of the sushi you're given before you can order more. So this person devised a plan to hide all of our leftover sushi under edamame shells in order to fool the waitress into thinking that we finished. He then dropped his piece of unfinished sushi in the glass of water, but proceeded to blame it on me, the easy freshman target. That was the first time we held a trial for this person and found him guilty. He got his second guilty as charged label when he slipped up a bit too much in Congress's infamous fluency drills, only held on Mr. Norris's Gene Days, of course. But I think this person has done their time, and I would like to unilaterally reverse those rulings. Barat, you are officially not guilty as charged, but seriously, thank you so much for everything you have done for me, personally, academically, and for forensics. Your leadership, fairness, and kindness will be missed, and NYU is lucky to have you.
How about we just talk about these two?
Check. 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 Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Of the many brands of water, there is Poland Spring, Aquafina, Not the Person, and if you're feeling a bit adventurous, you can get the tap water from Flint, Michigan, or just buy Dasani, because they taste the same. But we know someone who has a preference for Fiji water, which is by far the most basic with a pH of 8, because basic water is for basic people.
Speaking of basic, he plays the viola. And guess what? We elected him as vice president of our orchestra because it would be for the greater good of the orchestra if no one heard him play.
Though he occasionally brought his musical strings, he never forgot his shoestrings.
His feet must have always been wet because his shoes were dripping. But let's move from his feet to his hands.
Because his hands were never in the right place, in my hair. For most of my freshman year, I thought he owned a petting zoo because that's all he did to me. And I tried to get back at him, but he's so tall, and I didn't want to ruin his luscious locks.
But it's all good now because as we got to know this person, we learned he is a courageous, competitive, and cool dude.
He's the type of guy who will always lend a helping hand to a friend in need. Without further ado, it is our pleasure to present Daniel Zhang with the Big Bad and Bougie Award.
Wait, can I mic drop? Yeah, oh. Nah, actually, he took a while to figure it
This award goes to the Inter Queen, who not only coached some of the national finalists, but was a national finalist herself. Her hard work and dedication to RF is unreal. She always knows how to put on the best performances, even if her room is infested with bees. But she doesn't let that stop her. From her amazing color-coded Google Sheets to her inspirational speeches, this lovely lady brings the fuel to Interp and never fails to motivate us in our journey for the best. She wasn't only just our captain who coached us to perfection, but our friend who stood up for us during the toughest times. Even when she was highly sleep-deprived, she always pulled through and led a team. Yes, even at 4 a.m., I have text receipts of a 4 a.m. text on my cutting. She is the embodiment of what Ridge Forensics is all about, friendship and hard work. UPenn is getting a beautiful person inside and out, so they better be ready for her hive of talents.
So the Queen Bee Award goes to none other than Divya.
Well, it's gonna be ruined in this rain. Guys, we're black and yellow. Fine. Wait, they match so well to your good. Okay.
Oh, I thought there was. I took her umbrella for myself.
What? Yes. All right. All right. I'll just put this over it. All right. This is off. Okay. This next award goes to the person who has spent the better of 2 years figuring out every possible way to make fun of me. Be it my lack of mathematical skills or my music taste, she has never missed a chance to say, "Oh my God, Trudy, I have no idea how you'll survive next year." Newsflash, I did. But while she was making fun of me and simultaneously reminding me what time zone we live in, she has been an amazing parley partner, friend, and mentor. Even when I was tired or stressed, she always pushed me to continue to do my best. She always made people in LD and Parley laugh around her, usually at my expense. And we will miss your presence at practices. More importantly, I will miss beating you at 8 ball. And because she has always reminded me to wake up from my naps and when my alarms failed me, I present the Best Secretary Award to Gargi. Put this down. Thank you.
Can people hear me? Wow, how do I turn it on? Okay. I want to apologize in advance to the person this goes to. So sorry. When I first met this person, it was an interaction between two awkward people who soon became people who snuck into stairways and practiced. Thank you. And then it took them hours to learn how to scream and kind of shout a little bit. It takes this person no stress to alter their hair. But no matter how much this person changes their hair, there will always continue to be a rock or a little bit of a doting parent. And I think that we can learn a lot from their hair, which no matter how much they dye it, chop it, bleach it, and make it into impromptu bullets based on TikTok trends, it always continues to be soft and silky, which might be not a very good image to you guys, but I think it's pretty nice. You should feel it sometime. And so, the award for the person with the coolest hair goes to Kay Boulevard!
You're holding this. No, you have to. Like, you have to. I don't know.
Okay. This next award goes to an extraordinary person who always manages to put on a smile in my most embarrassing times.
as well as cackling at me until my humiliation level has multiplied tenfold. You are one of the funniest people I know. And don't worry, the main reason isn't because of your face. In, in all seriousness, this person has taught me so much, from getting through the lows of forensics, using blocking in my pieces, and even sketching her portrait. Just a side note that my drawing by no means captures even 1% of your beauty. Yeah. From watching you do crazy, mind-blowing do's to getting ready in the bathroom before tournaments, you effortlessly brighten every room you are in. I'm gonna miss your hysterical laughs and persistent dog barking background noises during Zoom practice. Wherever you go in life, I hope every step of your journey is filled with both happiness and a little bit of clownery. With your big brains and pull of kindness, I know for a fact that you'll make an amazing doctor. So the award for most likely to be a dog tour goes to my favorite dog lover, Lasya! I give you this. Take a picture.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit myself.
Thank you. I'll just take it down.
Check, check. I first picked this person as the strong and quiet type. But the more I got to know him, I realized that he's just only strong. Not only in the muscular sense, but also in the way that he speaks.
This person is a really funny speaker. He has a great joke about fossil fuels. I vividly remember the first time I heard it, and the second time I heard it, and the third time I heard it, and so on.
It's still better than some of his jokes, by the way.
Regardless of what anyone thinks of my comedy, this person has listened through it all for the past 3 years. I really got to know this person through our evening walks, where I learned he's a huge Miami Heat fan. It must be because his speeches are so fire.
And while LeBron left you, we never will. Whether extent mocked or dropped, you were there to lead us, educate us, and reinforce us. Revolutionize practices that replace news quizzes with news discussions. At least that was the plan.
Your funny facial expressions will make A12 jealous, and your eyebrow game will make everyone jealous.
Without further ado, it's our pleasure to present my jury with the most likely to become an eyebrow model award.
We're gonna miss you, bro, and we're gonna do great things like you too.
I can just start.
I've been working on this team for about 3 years now. In that time, I've seen him change a lot. I've learned a lot from him as well. He's a good friend, and I've always thought highly of him.
There were a lot of words that I was thinking about giving Nick, but I figured he deserved this one because this year in particular, it wasn't easy to be captain. I'm glad he stepped up to the task at a time when team morale and drive felt pretty low, since it probably would have been pretty excusable to check out in his position. Nick was really with us till the end, giving us the right structure and leadership we needed to get through a pretty unusual year, and for that, Ridge LG is thankful. So thank you, Nick. We're going to miss you, and it sucks that our last year debating together had to be this way. And of course, good luck at NYU.
For the past year, I knew eventually I would have to give this speech, but a part of me wishes this day never came because it's another reminder that this person is leaving me for college. While the COVID-19 pandemic drew many people apart, it brought me and this person much closer. It also made this person 10 times more dysfunctional than normal, and I thought it couldn't get worse than the hotel room that transformed into an ice machine, hoarded closet, and a coffee room all within 72 hours. Whenever public forum needed to figure anything out related to rosters or practice times, it was A, always last minute, and B, never properly planned. By always putting a smile on her face or texting with cute emoticons, this person never truly displayed her true dysfunctional self to anyone. Her mess and me constantly having to take over different plans made our friendship even stronger. Despite her lack of organization, this person has always been my number one supporter in forensics and part of the reason I don't give up so easily in any part of my life. To this person, thank you so much for being my biggest supporter for the past 3 years and being the older sister I never had. I sadly but proudly present the dysfunctional mom award to Nora.
This man is a legend.
No cap.
This man has elevated our experiences at Ridge Forensics.
His taste in pocket squares is unparalleled, but his taste in candy could be sweeter. Because 5 years ago, he traded me a Snickers bar for hot tamales. 2 years ago, I was but a scrappy vagabond seeking salvation from the fact that I couldn't talk to strangers, which is evidenced by today. And then I found my savior.
This person was my savior when he was buying me food at the vending machines. He was super organized with his money, and he always tried to get his money back, but then asked me if I ever paid him back.
To paraphrase Cardi B, making money.
This person gives the best advice, and he is a lot of fun to hang out with.
Without him, not only would traveling be half as fun, but this team wouldn't be the same.
I expect to see this person's internet meme in the future.
Without further ado, it is our pleasure to present Tasha Sadi with the Future Internet Meme Award. You're ready to get things faster than this.
No cap.
next award goes out to the girl who shines on whatever stage she's on, whether in a tournament, at her basement, or just strutting around school. Her acting capabilities are out of this world. And let's not forget how good she always looks. Yeah, her makeup is always on fleek during tournaments. With her smoking hot appearance and tear-jerking performances, she truly is an actress. Professional actress, some may say. This stunning girl doesn't drive her performances from a script, but by her emotion. And sometimes it seems like she forgets she was even acting. So make room for Priyanka. Priyanka Chopra because Satya is a real-life Bollywood actress. Oh wow, how sweet. Hello? Okay. Last but not least, the next paper plate belongs to an individual who is quite ambitious in her endeavors.
Ambitious in trying different events,
Selling me peanut butter Girl Scout cookies.
and even sliding into some random Persian boys' DMs.
Wait, Nabila. Sorry, quick question. How does Taylor Swift go poop?
Oh, she just shakes it off. The recipient of this paper plate has a strange obsession with tea swizzle. She's even sacrificed her reputation by pairing together a red phone and her ratchet folklore album phone case.
Not to mention her sense of style. Wink, wink. Lives rent free in my head. White on white. She really thinks she's the main character.
In all seriousness, from our 2 a.m. FaceTime calls to walks outside the foraged wing,
We have gotten to know our little Swiftie quite well.
although she's definitely not ready for it, we'll miss her so much when she goes off to UIUC.
With the rest of the Indian boys in the senior class. So for her questionable ambition
Unhealthy obsession with Taylor Swift,
and main character type shizzle,
we present the
are you ready for it? Ready for the Lord to Tanya Delani!
I know because I shared this with you.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't care what anyone says. It looks cool when you see Princeton, even though it's high school.
Okay, guys, that concludes our paper plate awards. Let's give one more round of applause for all of our seniors. Next, HQ has prepared some speeches for our coaches. First, we're going to start off with Miss Thorough. Read the itinerary so you know when you're giving your speeches. Can everybody hear me? I'm only too quiet. I can't speak louder than this. Can everybody hear me now? Okay. For the past 2 years, Anthony has been coaching me and the rest of the PF squad. I think when Anthony was beginning to get introduced to public forum, he was a little bit shocked and perhaps a bit exasperated at how dysfunctional PF can be. We like to talk a lot, we like to socialize, and a lot of times we don't take things as seriously as we should. Thankfully, as soon as Anthony stepped into his role as our coach,
He brought out the best parts of public forum. He had fun with us, he talked with us, but he also made sure that we were always ready for the next practice, the next round, and the next tournament. In fact, one of the first times that I met Anthony in person was at the Blake tournament during my junior year of high school. That tournament is perhaps PF's not most strongest tournament. I showed up with maybe 1.25 cases and a 4-page block file. Translation, we were kind of unprepared. Thankfully, Anthony pulled through with one of the best cases I've ever read in high school, giving it to Julie and I in a few hours. That case was unlike anything I had ever read before, and he honestly taught me a lot in those 3 days, probably more than I had ever learned throughout my whole debate career. Overall, Anthony has remained dedicated to PF despite our ups and downs. He's more than a coach. He's a friend and a mentor. Personally, when I felt sort of exasperated about my debate career, the only person that I honestly talked to about was Anthony. He validated my feelings, listened to my concerns, and then revitalized my love for public forum. For all of that and more, on behalf of Public Forum Debate, we would like to thank you, Anthony.
Come on, Samar, read the itinerary.
Hey, check, check. Kevin and I are neighbors before he was my coach. So, Kevin and I have been friends for a while. At least, I hope we were friends. I just constantly ring his doorbell and ask him to hang out. One day, a while ago, I saw a stranger with a ridiculous amount of hair in Kevin's driveway. And when I saw Kevin in practice the next day, I realized that stranger was Kevin. Also, for those of you who knew Kevin in high school when he had short hair, Kevin is growing out his hair to look like Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I just thought you guys would want to know. But enough about Kevin's hair. I would run out of time if I kept on talking about it. So let's switch to Kevin's coaching. Kevin did not do extemp, but he still decided to take up the role of being an extemp coach. And let me tell you, he was a really good coach. He offered a fresh perspective on our speeches, and his commitment to watching us practice was phenomenal. He also gave us great feedback and made every single extemper grow. Although Kevin would take half an hour to collect his thoughts after every single extemp speech he listened to. And this year, we would not have sent a record number of extempers to NCFLs if it was not for the efforts of Kevin to help us grow. So, I only have 2 words to say to Sokka, or Kevin, which is thank you. And I'm willing to bet that you're going to do great things a year and beyond.
We are in a mood. He is no longer with us. We lost a real one today.
Marcus Ray Perez,
Our coach,
our actor friend.
our immigrant.
Whether it's his favorite ice-locked racist shirts or his unsettling amount of knowledge about Dora, he's always made a point of being hands-on. For example, when I was trying to get rid of my speech pattern, Marcus told me to blind myself and try to wash the dishes.
Wait, really? Did it work?
I use the dishwasher now.
Well, I mean, it doesn't compare to that one time you told me to intern at a proctologist to practice my hand gestures.
In all seriousness, the paper's wet. In all seriousness, after listening to this painful AGD, I think it's time that we go into why we love Marcus.
Start off, He has always brightened up our sessions with his positive attitude and encouraging demeanor. He has always made time to help prepare PA for tournaments on the national and local circuit, whether it's been last minute or weeks in advance.
I know I can always count on Marcus to make me laugh while also being brutally honest. Last year at our very first duo session, we came to the conclusion that I'm straight up bad at duo. And when I saw him again a year later, he told me the same thing. But now we slack and it's okay.
It's been really fun getting to know Marcus this year, and we hope next year he'll actually show up to the banquet so we can thank him in person.
Because when Marcus isn't here, ordering Chipotle feels like cultural appropriation.
Period.
Yay, Marcus! He's not here. Oh, okay. The first time Fletch introduced me to Sam was in my freshman year. She said, "This is Sam. He's a tough coach. You're going to have to work your butt off." And she was totally right. As many of the interpreters would agree, Sam, your unrelenting feedback and determination to help us succeed have pushed us to work harder and pursue more than we ever thought we could. From reading at least 5 different cuttings of my poi to having several sessions that go way past our practice times, the enormous effort you put into us reflects the effort that we put into our pieces. Without your vigorous sessions, inspirational lectures, and creative ideas, Interp would not be the same. Thank you for not only seeing us as who we are, but who we could be, and using every ounce of your energy to push us to our limits and fulfill the best version of ourselves. It has always been apparent that you tremendously care about forensics, and sometimes I forgot you had a life outside of it. So, I wanted to say a quick apology for having such a surprised reaction when you mentioned your girlfriend. Nice to know forensics isn't the only thing in your life. But needless to say, you are an inspiration to all of us, and we will forever be grateful for your role on this team. Let's give it up for Sam!
Hello, everyone. In my time on forensics, I've learned that continuity and consistency is key. Whether it be learning how to break consistently, being consistently fluent, consistently standing out in your chamber, or simply consistently being there for your teammates. It's actually quite ironic how important it is for Congress when the real Congress is anything but continuous and consistent in real life. The necessity for coaching extends to coaching as well. My first year, I didn't even have a coach, and my second year, I only had one. So I want to thank for Mr. Norris for always being there. Because when Mr. Norris walked into 414 my junior year, he, along with Isaac, established the continuity and consistency that this event needed. Ever since then, whether we need to run a point by him, give a speech, ask him to explain a bill the night before the tournament, he was there. So I want to thank you, Mr. Norris, for helping the Congress team this year and allowing us to succeed at such a high level. Thank you for bearing with me the day before Harvard as I ran every single one of my prelim points with you. I don't need to miss our sessions and hear you explain all the bills during practice. And I know that with you and Leah and Shree, Congress is in great hands, and I can't wait to see what you guys accomplish next year.
409 has always been my favorite building in the room. From PA written neatly on the board in a purple marker. If you use any other color, it's wrong. To the Ass Slayer desk in the back of the room. To the funny yet awkward teenagers trying to figure out how to write a speech. I have always loved 409. But while some people might think that PA got a coach our junior year, we've actually had a coach since my freshman year. She just wasn't paid for it yet. So I'd like to give a thank you to Miss Dosky for giving us our time during Monday practices when she wasn't even paid for it. Thank you so much for helping all my sophomore and freshman year speeches, as well as obviously my junior and senior year ones. Ms. Dosky is honestly the most generous person I've ever met. Before Ms. Dosky joined our family, it always felt like PA was a forgotten event. After all, we were the Hufflepuffs of forensics. But Ms. Dosky truly made the team even more magical than it already was. So thank you so much for being a true wizard in our lives. And I love you so much, Ms. Dosky. Thank you.
The first time Fletch and I crossed paths was at RFSDI 4 years ago, and I did not think for a second that she would have such a huge impact on my life. If you asked 7th grade me if I was going to join the forensics team, I would have more certainly said, no way. Not only was I a little 7th grader, but I had absolutely no self-confidence, especially in regards to public speaking. But she was able to convince me to join forensics. Through our countless sessions for Poi, OI Duo, and even once DI, Fletch, you were able to help me build my confidence from scratch. Now I can confidently stand up here and give this speech. You put your heart and soul into forensics, and it truly pays off. No wonder Interp is always at the top of the leaderboard. And Fletch, if we were in Dance Moms, you'd be Abby Lee Miller, and everyone you coached would be Maddie Ziegler, because you always push us to work our hardest and be at the top of the pyramid. The socials that Interp held this year are all because of your amazing ideas, and you've improved team camaraderie greatly. While it was difficult to adjust to online learning, you helped us get creative by teaching us how to use the camera and our room to our advantage. All of RF is lucky to have you and call you a coach. Whether it's logging into sessions from outside with Faye and Royce, hey Faye, or telling us about your knees after running countless miles. They're all fixed, you guys, don't worry. You never fail to make Interp enjoyable. From the bottom of my heart and everyone else on the team, we would like to thank you for your constant devotion to Rich Forensics.
You're getting too. I already yeah.
Where do I even start with my gratitude for... Where do I even start with my gratitude for Isaac? There's no other way to put it, besides he is a huge part of the reason why we all advanced to our target out rounds and why we all ended the past 2 years at the ranks we did. When I was told Nicole was leaving us, I didn't know of any replacements. I honestly thought this was it for our team, because Nicole showed me that behind every competitor is a coach who constantly pushes them to be their best.
But Isaac has met those expectations and then some. He takes every moment after every win, no matter if he has Wi-Fi or not, to find a way to congratulate us on our wins and reassure us when we lose. I'd like to think he takes pride in every bid that we earn, but at least for this 2020-2021 season, I can safely say all of our bids are attributed to him, Mr. Norris, and even Anthony, who have stayed up late with me, making sure that we are able to put our best foot forward. Moving past just me, to this day, NJ attributes a large part of his NSDA Senate Finals performance to Isaac. Ashwin's victories have his support all over it, and everyone else on the team has benefited in substantial ways from his guidance. Although he is leaving us, we will always be Isaac's scrubs, and Isaac will always be our role model. Thank you for having such a large impact on our debate careers. Whether it's finding cards, giving advice, or simply just listening to us, we can always count on you. As he moves on to the next chapter in his life, I know his dedication, understanding, activism, and down-to-earth personality will take him far. Isaac, please don't charge us $400 an hour when you become a powerful and successful lawyer. At the very least, maybe we get a scrub discount. But in all seriousness, Isaac, we are grateful to have had you as our mentor, and remember to keep in touch.
Okay, so this is Isha's speech. So to thank this next coach, I think it's required that we list out some situations where he has helped us out. From constantly sending us prep files during tournaments, to dealing with Vikram's nonstop insistence on tech, to taking out the time from his busy schedule to comment on our often subpar prep, Alex has been a key support to the LD team this year. There was never a moment when he didn't try his hardest to make himself available to all of us, and we are incredibly grateful for that. Even when we didn't feel like giving our 100%, Alex has always been willing to negotiate and help us perform to the best of our abilities, whether in practices or in tournaments. Speaking of practice, he was always there at practice watching many rounds and giving us valuable feedback to improve our debate skills. Every practice, he'd come in judging with a new focus and style that he'd use and make us better debaters. And when we were nearing a national or any important tournament, or if he just felt like we needed to work on our skills, he would always schedule extra practices just to do drills or talk about prep. I'm sure that it has been hard to manage time to help us out with the jobs and school going on in his life, but Alex has never complained. Thus, I would like to thank him for his efforts and dedication to this team and being a vital part of the success of Ridge LD.
Throughout the past year, I have spent a lot of time with Mr. Y, probably more than I want to admit. Something I learned is that it is very easy to criticize and complain about team meeting times or practically anything related to Ridge forensics. But when you are the one doing the planning, it is very hard to solve problems. However, Mr. Y always makes it look easy. From making sure that Ridge can go to almost any tournament we want to being president of NJSCL, to also being a full-time teacher, Mr. Y never fails to impress. On behalf of the whole team, we thank Mr. Y for all of his hard work and time commitments he has given to this team. His hard work and effort may not be apparent to everyone on the team, but I hope you know how much we all appreciate it, and we wouldn't be the people we are today without you. As we spend another year together, I hope you know I wouldn't trade the endless calls for anything. So, thank you, Mr. Y. And Rhea created a little poster with some quotes from everybody on the team showing our appreciation for you. Here, Rhea, why don't you say it? You're the one who made it. Get in the picture. And this is from 5 of us. Minalia, Amy, and Arjuna.
Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect.
I wrote it possible, and I hope they forgot to put it on. I know they were going to put it on the poster. I hope he made the stupidest quote ever.
And that concludes all of our coaches' speeches. One last round of applause for all of our amazing coaches who help us compete every single day and perform to the best of their ability. Now we are going to move on to the Sophomore of the Year Award.
Stop. Alright, so the individual receiving this award is well known for their optimism, speaking ability, incredible fashion sense, and more. They have performed exceptionally well at both the local and national circuit, consistently dominating in their respective events. In addition to the competitive aspect of forensics, they have been a great teammate, whether it be at frozen yogurt socials or Zoom meetings. While it's hard to speak of this person due to our separate and digital event practices, all I've heard are incredible things regarding their character and passion. So, for their talent, competitive zeal, and crocheting prowess, I'm excited to present the Sophomore of the Year Award to Yejin Lee.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? Oh, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, so I want to preface this by saying that this speech is going to be pretty short and sweet, kind of like the person who's going to get this award. So you may be thinking, why are we wasting a minute for some stupid milk jug? But this little jug is so much more than just something ordinary. It's a relic of this team that's been passed down through generations of our members. And thus, not just anyone can get this award. It has to be someone who manages to put their all into this team, while also managing to put a good impression on their peers through their strong personalities. And thus, it's really a no-brainer who deserves this. This person is nice, knowledgeable, especially when it comes to shoes for some reason, and they're always willing to put in the hard work needed to dominate their congressional chambers. And thus, without further ado, I'm happy to announce that Joey Huang is the next bearer of this milk jug. Joey, alright, it's rhythm and spirit. Oh, sorry.
The question was, who was the first recipient of the Milk Jug Award? And this version of it says Brenda, who I think just graduated med school. But the original, the very first Milk Jug Award was awarded, I believe, in 2003. And it was, the reason it's a Milk Jug Award is after the tournament, a whole group of students would always go to Friendly's, when Friendly's used to be in Bernardsville, where Baskin Robbins is now. And one day they all go there after tournaments, get mozzarella sticks and all, except this one person always got milk. It was Becky Schuster, and she just about 2 months ago had her very first baby. And is enjoying what right now. She went on and competed at the college level as well, but Becky Schuster was the very first person to get the milk jug award. I think again it was like 2003, 4, right around there. Alright, so we have some other people to recognize as well. First and foremost, we have some state champions. The state champions receive a Governor's Awards in the Arts, and that ceremony was just a few weeks ago. But in addition, for the New Jersey Speech and Debate League, they also get a scholarship in honor of Mr. Vincent Boulay. Mr. Boulay was a coach when I first started, coach of a very, very successful program at Long Branch High School.
was very involved in performing arts all across New Jersey. So if these folks want to come up and get their scholarship and their recognition, we have Jocelyn's here. Mariam Cohen. Ryan Boyd. DJ Brown. Kathy Whitman. Marcia Bonaparte. And Chloe Yang. We are also recognizing our seniors as well. And our assistant coach is going to help me through this process. And I'll have some words a little bit at the end, but inside the packages that we're giving to our seniors will be their NSDA certificate, which has been updated with the most recent degrees. There's one of the traditions that we started many, many years ago on this team is a book. And this year I decided to go with a little bit of a different theme on the book, so you'll get the idea when you open them up. And then are honor cords. And the honor cords are on behalf of being a member of the National Honor Society of the National Forensic League, which is the Honor Society division of the National Speech and Debate Association. So at graduation, make sure you remember your honor cords to let everybody know that you are a member in good standing and have really done an amazing work this entire year. So let's recognize attending Emory University, Ms. Adrika Chavarad. Attending the University of Illinois, Tony Adlani. University of Liverpool's Leslie Bonaparte. Attending York University, Nicholas G. Thank you. Rutgers University, Satya Gopinath. Attending Colby College, Amy Brown. Attending Purdue University, Gargi Cool. Attending University of Pennsylvania, Divya Krishnan. Attending Rutgers University, Rick Hoodie. Attending Indiana University, Joshua Lee. Attending University of Illinois, Ryan Perry. Attending Boston University, Pasha Sadie. Attending New York University, Bernard Sanka. Attending University of Illinois, Alon Singh. Attending Duke University, Debbie Sun. Attending Montclair State University, Isha Tripathi. Oh, all right. Attending Northeastern University, Caleb Omar. And attending New York University, Daniel Zhang. All right, and two awards that we have always given, going right back to the very first years at Rich Forensics. We start with the Top Novice Award. And the Top Novice Award goes to somebody who always steps up, is always there, is always willing to try something new, wants to explore different types of events. Not only wants to explore different types of events, wants to compete more in them, wants to achieve more in them, to a level that is definitely on a trajectory to that national standard. And this year we have an individual that so many times would email me and say, can I enter 3 events at this tournament? Can I enter 4 events at this tournament? And a lot of times I'd be like, let's take a step back, go to 2, then let's see where we go from there. So it was not a surprise when all of a sudden this individual who stepped up at a district tournament because she wanted to compete in supplemental all of a sudden qualifies for the national tournament. So our top novice the 2021 year goes to A. Cow.
Thank you so much.
And then we have our Most Valuable Speaker Award, the MVS. And this is, again, an award which sets up what it means to achieve that national standard that Reach Forensics has been honored and privileged to be able to even attempt to attain year after year. And it's because of the hard work among the entire team. You look around at these tournaments and you know that there are teams with 1, 2, 3. But when you have a team of this size, all standing behind one another and supporting one another and doing things that can help people achieve not just for their own personal sake, but how important it is to be there for one another and to, especially in this environment, keep people motivated even though you are in your basements and in your bedrooms and in your closets and in your hallways and in all these strange places that we've had to compete this year. And knowing that in between those rounds, we aren't running to Starbucks. We aren't, staying in hotels. We aren't getting on planes and trains. But we're still there. We're still committed. We're still focused. And it's with that sense of persistence to keep going and keep moving forward. And this person has done so at many tournaments this year. And really, at each tournament, it was a matter of not having it easy in any way, shape, or form, but always being ready for the challenge. So this year's most valuable speaker, I'm happy to award it to Ms. Divya Krishnan.
It's a giveaway.
And with that, I have, you know what, I'll save that for later. So it's my pleasure to turn it over to our outgoing president, somebody who I have been truly honored to work with all year long, who kept me motivated, kept me focused, and in spite of all of the craziness that was happening, whether it was here at Ridge or at the state level or even at the national level. This is another individual that led this team so successfully, so I'm happy to welcome her for her last address as president of this team, Ms. Adrika Shamrock.
So, I was a really shy kid growing up. You know, like books for my best friends and public speaking was my worst enemy, which is kind of ironic considering what I'm doing right now. But this team has truly helped me grow into the person I am today, and you all have helped me grow into the person I am today. I've learned so much being here. For example, from Brian, I've learned that I should never wear sneakers to a tournament, but I also learned that if you're going to do it once, you might as well do it twice. I also learned how to get out of things by saying, I can't, I have forensics. 10 out of 10 times I was true. And lastly, I learned how to improvise a speech. And I think it's going out pretty well. What do you guys think? I'm doing it right now. But yeah, I've learned so much and I've grown so much with this team, and I'm so happy to be surrounded by such an amazing group of people. Be it at Ivies or even just state tournament or state universities. You guys are wonderful people who are off to do wonderful and amazing things. I've seen you guys come up with things on the spot, and I've seen you prepare things and then decide that they're bad and then come up with them on the spot. So thank you all for having such a great year and giving me such amazing group of people to fall back on. And you guys are truly my best friends. Thank you. Bye guys.
So as I mentioned, this year was, it's almost become a trope now. It's unprecedented. And it really was, because I believe with our tournament next week, with all of you getting ready to compete at NSDA, we are so excited. So excited that the coaches have been connecting, talking about the great work that folks are doing. And, last year was a rough year for us at NSDA. It was the first year that we did not receive a Team of Excellence award. It was a year where we weren't even sure how competition was going to work, but we persisted nonetheless. And then we came in. We ran an amazing RFSDI virtually over the summer. That's right, because no one else did it yet, and we defined it. And then we started with Duke and Yale. And then we started with the parliamentary debate tournaments. And we got to the local levels. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe next week will be our 57th tournament that Ridge Forensics has competed in this year. 57. And that's just because, and that's a testament to all of you. Because many of you could have literally sit back and said, you know what, this isn't what I originally signed up for. I'm just going to do local events. I'm just going to do the bare minimum. I'm going to go on every year, go off into the sunset. I had the experience. But for many of you, that wasn't enough. For many of you, it was, you know what? I'm going to make the best of this situation. I'm going to make the best of my performance, my cases, my speeches, I'm going to continue showing that truth. I'm going to continue testing that knowledge. I'm going to continue representing Ridge in a way that so many generations have come before, but not like you all did. They got on a bus. They ended up, going to a tournament, doing their rounds, coming down on the bus, and that was it. They didn't have to undergo all of the craziness of lagging bandwidth and trying to manage, are we in a Zoom this time or an MSDA campus room this time? How am I logging on? And it really, really was a testament to all of them. And I also really, really need to call out to the coaches, because there's no way that this team in any way, shape, or form could have done as much as it did without the amazing help of all of our coaches. I got myself wrapped up into the state level again this year because we really wanted to make sure that online tournaments were done the right way. And I probably stepped a little bit away from the active coaching of this team, but when I would talk to the coaches and hear about all the amazing things that you all were doing, and when I finally did get the opportunity to work with you, you could see it. You could see that this wasn't a slacking year or a lagging year. This is a year where we completely redefined what it meant to be a part of this team, how you put all of the barriers aside and you made it your own. And that is not measured in trophies or resume lines. That's going to be the tenacity which is going to move you further and farther than any program, any trophy, any opportunity could ever give. And for those of you that have stepped it up and said, you know what, I'm not only going to just do it the required way, I'm going to go and reach that potential. I'm going to go and push it. I am going to go and try this, and I'm going to experiment with other events, and I'm going to make this experience worthwhile. That is what this team has always been about. So I thank all the coaches, the folks that are here, folks that are watching at home. If it wasn't for you, I would not really be able to claim the achievements that we have. But even more significantly are our officers. Because let me tell you, when they talk about that, they've talked to me more than they ever thought they would. They're not lying. We would meet weekly. And sometimes those meetings were long, and sometimes they went through various drafts, and sometimes I got a little picky with certain things, and they were there to meet the challenge. And whenever we thought things were on the down spiral, all of a sudden they would pick it back up. And they would come up with that idea, which would say, you know what, we need to do something to make it fun. We need to do something to keep people guessing. We need to do something which is really going to help make this team be something amazing. So I want to give a personal shout out and a token of my gratitude to those folks who really took the ownership of this team and made it their own. And that even it extends, all the entries. Trying to organize these 50-some tournaments that we went to and who's going where and everything else was such an arduous task. So the first person I wanted to reach out is a person who took that and ran with it, even though originally it wasn't her job. Tanya, come on up, because you really did an amazing job, and we thank you so much for everything. Even spreading the word of all the amazing things that the team is doing virtually, social media, but just keeping such organized with everything. That alone deserves a Nobel Prize. So thank you so much. And then we have our officers. Michaela, come on up. As you know, Michaela has an amazing attention for detail, as you've heard tonight. And one of the things that really helped me this year was her ability to keep us all on track with the amount of judges that we needed for all of these events, making sure that people were getting paid, people were getting the credit they deserved, So, again, she was in every single meeting with the officers and I, brainstorming, trying to come up with some new things to be able to do. So thank you so much. This has been such a crazy year. And then we have the tournament director extraordinaire, probably somebody who, if she is not in some form of business logistics, running the world, I don't know what she's going to be doing. But Amy Wong, thank you so much for not just the organization, but also just your positive, upbeat, always turning a piece of frustration into a moment that we can learn from, grow from, and make a little bit more fun. So thank you so much. And then there's Luca. Come on up. When I tell you that this is a person that not just wants to run a successful team, this is a person who feels the team, believes the team, loves the team. There is no issue that could be mentioned to her that she didn't bring to us. She was your advocate this entire year. She's there thinking ahead of the curve. She was thinking about how are we going to make this work, and she was brilliant in all aspects of the job. And let me tell you, when it comes to more visual design thing, I'm really picky about things like that. But she took the ideas, she made it work, even with our new this year. So, Andrika, for such a phenomenal year, there's a couple other things here. That is, we also had we had our first person ever place the individual sweeps at George Mason. So, we have that there. Here's just a small token for you for all the work that you do. It's heavy. There you go. And then again, just thank you so much for keeping this team alive, for keeping me sane, for being such a great team player with the officers and the HQ and the coaches. We're going to miss you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have new chapters to write, new experiences. We're going to be excited to take Rich Forensics into the 21-22 season. We have a huge enrollment for IFSDI this summer in person and virtual. For those people at home, www.richforensics.com/summer-institute. And we're going to be excited to make next week a phenomenal LSD championship for this team. And more importantly, we wish all of our seniors, those competing, those not competing, an amazing graduation. Keep in touch. Remember, we can always use a judge, we can always use a coach, right, Kevin Tang? Thank you so much, Kevin, for spending his gap year here with us as well. When alumni come back to help and assist, that, when we think about that idea of family, that's really where it starts. So seniors, of course, you're always welcome back. We'd be honored to have you continue along with the team. But we're looking forward to next week, next year, a great new season. Thank you, everybody, to all of our coaches, to all the folks present, for everybody watching at home. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. And before you leave, the last round of awards are up by the doors to the 600 wing. And a lot of you didn't pick up the last go around. So make sure you just look to see if there's a box there. And there are some party favors underneath the tent, if you'd like to. And throw away your trash. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Be safe, be well. Thank you to our current officers for a great banquet. Have a wonderful night.